Good morning. Not sure if anyone's going to join me at 10 a.m. midweek on a Wednesday. I see one person, but I don't know if that's me on here. Um, if that's you, if you want to just say good morning in the chat. Um, but yeah, I wanted to get on here live really quick. I shouldn't say really quick because I can kind of ramble. I did have a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I made a list so that I don't go off topic. But happy Wednesday, happy February 1st. Um, yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I don't even when I get on calls with like clients and stuff, I still get pretty nervous, but especially now that it's live and I can't edit this video. But whether you're joining me live or you're watching the replay, hi, hello, thank you for sticking with me. I know a few of you have messaged me on Instagram, emailed me, and made comments on where I've been, and I'm still here. I've just been pretty busy. Um, so yeah. Anyways, let me get on with my list so that I have something to kind of follow. Otherwise, my I'll just be talking about random stuff. So first thing I wanted to talk about was part of the reason why I was busy last year was I decided to pursue the AFCPE certification, and that stands for the Accredited Financial Counselor. Um, AFCPE. I don't even know what the P. I forgot what the P stands for. But it's basically I wanted to be a certified financial counselor, and part of that is because I just wanted to level up my financial knowledge. Besides just reading finance books, I really wanted to learn and dive deep into all aspects of personal finance beyond just budgeting, because budgeting is just one thing. There's so much more to personal finance, and I just wanted to be well rounded in that subject. And I'm still learning, even though I did pass the exam. I took it last Friday, and I have been studying and studying and studying for that exam because I wanted to just take it once, because there is money involved in taking that exam, and I did not want to um, have to repeat it and pay again to take that exam. It's not cheap. But also because I just wanted to learn everything, how to be a better coach, not just coach, but educator. I want to level up my personal finance content game and maybe start posting more education rather than just, I know I post a lot about our own financial journey, but I want to go beyond that and teach more finance content. So, for the three of you that are on here live, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Um, if you don't mind typing in where you guys are from, I would love to know, get to know you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave that here. Even if you're not joining me live, feel free to type in the comments. Um, and let me know where you guys are from, how your month has been going. It's been 31 days already this year, and I feel like I'm still in 2022. Um, so, uh, so I passed my exam. I'm going off of my little list I made over here so that I don't get off topic. As for the one-on-one coaching, I'm gonna hold off on it. As far as like the A Purposeful Budget business side of things goes, I want to focus more on my shop because I've been seeing a lot more success in that versus coaching. I do love coaching. I have coached a couple of clients. It was kind of more my part-time thing, and it's been great. It was nice, but I found that through coaching, what I really enjoyed the most out of it was the teaching part, um, and of course, helping them with their budget, 'cause I'm a budget nerd, spreadsheet nerd, and I love that side of things and helping my clients get or achieve their goals and pay off their debt and build up their sinking funds and stuff. So that part was fun. But I do want to focus a little bit more on my shop and teaching. I did originally a long time ago when I shouldn't say a long time ago, in 2021, back when I first decided to become a financial coach, I really wanted to have my own course and sell courses, but I've, had a change of heart. Um, and I really am leaning towards more of the free stuff. So I want to elevate my YouTube channel a little bit and go more into the teaching part. So instead of selling courses, I would rather just teach here on YouTube. And I think I want to go into either teaching them live or pre recording it, kind of similar to how I do it with my clients. I usually pre record the video lessons and then I put it on. I do put it on YouTube. It's like a separate link, so maybe I can just upload that. But I don't know. We'll see. But I do want to. I do want to have more um, finance education stuff on here. And yeah, so other things with YouTube that I want to do, my DIY budget notebook planner series is one of the most popular videos here on my channel. And it's something that I'm not going to let go of because the purpose of that is to help those of you who are stuck on trying to find maybe the perfect system or the perfect planner, the perfect spreadsheet. And all you really need is a notebook. Start with a notebook and pen, and then from there, you can figure out how you budget. And then you can invest in the budget planner, but you really don't need all of the fancy schmancy stuff. Just start with a notebook. I'll be doing it alongside with you because I'm going to do it again this year. I don't know if I'm going to do more of the how-to setup. It'll just be more of me showing you how I budget my family's finances in the notebook. So I'm going to be doing both. I'm going to do both the spreadsheet because I cannot do my budget without the spreadsheet. I love my spreadsheet budget system. Um, so yeah, but I also do miss the paper part of budgeting. I still kind of budget, take notes in a notebook, kind of a brain dump, and then I will plug everything into my spreadsheet. It's just nice to, since I use Google Sheets, I can share it with my husband so he has access to it as well. And also when I'm out and about, I can just check in on our budget as well. Um, and what else did I want to talk about? I am starting a new service. If you're part of my newsletter, you should have received an email, I believe in December or I think November, but it's basically going to be a email coaching service. Nothing crazy, nothing like me coaching you for months or anything. It's just meant to help you get started. It's going to be called the Budget Kickstart. And what that's meant to do is kind of help you get started. So I'll create like a starter budget for you, come up with an action plan for you to follow, and give you some tips. So something just easy for you'll fill out a form. Based on that, I'll create your starter budget and some tips and stuff for you. So I don't have the link up just yet. I still have to create that, but I will get that up soon. But I think that's just nice. So if you're someone who doesn't know where to start, or if you just need an extra set of eyes to take a look at your budget, maybe there's something that you're not seeing that maybe I can see. I'd love to help in that way, and that'll be for free. I'm not charging for that one. Um, and what else? I do have a money confession. I'm going to save that for last, but it's kind of sucks. But I'll talk about that later. But in fall 2022, I have both kiddos officially in elementary school. One's in kinder, the other one's in fourth grade. So I've been able to volunteer more at school. And I think I signed up. I told my husband I think I signed up for way too many things um, that I didn't think would be that time consuming, but it kind of is, which is great because I've always wanted to help out at my kids' school. I just haven't been able to do so because of my little one. Um, so I've always had to stay home with him. So for those of you who are new to my channel or new to or don't know this part of my life, I quit my full-time job in 2018 and became a stay-at-home mom. And I didn't start the APB, a purposeful budget business until 2021. And it's been amazing, but now that both kids are in school, I'm kind of ready to go back to work. And I have been volunteering, like I said. I help out in both of my kiddos' library times. I help out at the copy center. And what else do I do? And I help out in the classroom as well for my kinder kids. So it's been pretty fun. So that volunteering kind of sparked a little bit of that. I don't know if the word is joy, but just being out and helping and working again um, is kind of nice. I don't know if I'll go back to the old job that I had, but I do want to work somewhere in this within the school system. So that's kind of where I hope to start. And then I will work on my, I don't like to call it a hustle, but my side business, which is this a purposeful budget. I'm going to be working more of that at night, which is kind of what I've been doing anyways. And even before when I was coaching, a lot of it was kind of in the evenings, some in the mornings, but yeah. So with not coaching one on one via Zoom anymore, that'll free up some time as well. So I can work on going back to work and working on my shop, working on YouTube, setting up some classes on here, or not classes, but just, I guess, classes, finance education videos. Um, and yeah, so as far as YouTube goes, I want to go back to uploading 2 times a week. It will for sure have my budget notebook series on there and my spreadsheet budget. Um, this Saturday, I plan on uploading my yearly budget for 2023, which I like. I have been using since I've been using the spreadsheet system since 2021 because I created it for my clients, and that's kind of where this whole the APB shop came about. Was me wanting to have the spreadsheets for my clients, and then that just quickly escalated into me nerding out and creating all these templates because not everyone budgets the same way. So with certain clients, some prefer weekly, monthly, and then biweekly, which is my preferred method because we get paid biweekly. Um, and yeah, so ever since 2021, I've been budgeting with a spreadsheet. And I believe I was also using the budget by paycheck workbook still, which, if you are going to be investing in a budget planner, if you want to make that investment, it's not cheap. I would highly recommend the budget by paycheck workbook by the budget mom. If you don't know her, um, I'm sure if you follow me, you know who she is, Kamiko Love. I love her and her channel, like everything that she stands for financially. I love her and I love her workbooks. So if you're willing to spend, I think it's what, $50 on a workbook, I would highly recommend that you check it out. But anyways, so as for my spreadsheets, I like to use the yearly overview to help plan out the year so I can see how much I can save. I'll go more over that in my video on Saturday. Um, but yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Um, I don't know. I think that's basically it. Oh, my money confession. So this one is kind of embarrassing and kind of hard for me to admit because I'm someone um, who I think that I make pretty wise financial decisions, but in the last year, I feel like I haven't. It's more so has to do with my business. So basically, I went back into debt. Um, if you don't know, we became debt free in March of 2021. I believe we paid off our consumer debt in 2020 or 2019. So all of our credit cards were all paid off. That was like the first that we wanted to tackle. So credit card debt we tackled, I believe, 2019 or paid it off 2020. And then we finished paying off my student loans in 2021. And last year, I thought I had big dreams for my business and coaching, and I thought I would be able to do all these things. I upgraded to certain softwares that I ended up regretting and ended up canceling. So I paid a couple months into certain softwares, signed up for yearly things, and just I used my credit card for it because I had that 0% APR, and I thought that I could pay it off by December. That's when it was due. I had to pay it all off by December in order to not get charged interest, and that did not happen. I also put my AFC certification education stuff on that card, and I also invested in a course. Um, I don't know if I know for sure I regret leveling up on certain softwares um, because I ended up going back to the usual way I do things. Like I tried this certain software for coaching, and I ended up just going back to using Google, like Google services. By that, I mean Google Drive. Like I use Google Drive to hold all of my client stuff and to share things with them. And I didn't even use that software. But that software, I mean Kajabi. I tried Kajabi. It's not cheap, and like I said, I ended up going back to how I was doing things, and I think I ended up just confusing one of my clients, trying to transition to the other way. So we ended up not even using Kajabi and just going back to the way I was doing things, um, and signed up for other things like a contract service, I think it was called Sign Now, but I ended up going back to Jotform, which is so much easier. I find not that Sign Now is confusing or anything; it's actually really nice. But I for what the level of I'm in business, I really didn't need it. I just thought I thought I needed certain things for my business that it turns out that I really didn't. So now I'm paying for it because I thought I would have by the end of December, I thought I'd have all of these clients and all of this business and all of this money, but I didn't. So now I believe the balance on that is, um, let me actually check 'cause I have my budget here with me. So I actually have something to put in my debt tracker, which is sad, but um, yeah, so $4,548 is what I owe, which I talked to my husband about it. I kind of was telling him, like, I feel bad, I feel sad, and just, I don't know. But my husband, being the amazing husband that he is, he's like pretty supportive of everything that I do, all the decisions that I make. We've actually made a plan to tackle that debt. He's like, "Do you want to pay it off now?" Um, and I believe I just got charged interest once, and it was like $28. I know it might not seem like much, but it's $28. That's still a lot of money to me, and for something that could have been avoided, you know. So try not to dwell on it. It happened. Now we're gonna try to just make sure we pay it off. If I can find a job sometime soon that can help pay it off sooner, that would be awesome. The timeline to pay that off is hopefully in 3 months. We're kind of torn right now between fully maxing out our Roth IRA first or paying off the debt because I've done the math. Then if I get charged like $30 each month, if we want to pay it off in 3 months, we'll get charged like what, $100, $90 in interest, and it just the thought of that just kind of sucks because we've been really good at controlling our debt, or not controlling, but not going into debt. So, but anyways, it happens. And sometimes our emotions, like I said, I think, like I say all the time, like our emotions sometimes get the best of us when it comes to our spending. I am not perfect. Just because I was debt free, doesn't mean that I still don't make mistakes. And I'm sure, hopefully, a lot of you guys can relate to that. Things happen, and it's something that I regret a lot. The only thing I really don't regret as part of my financial decision was going for my AFC certification because I did learn a lot. I was able to bring that knowledge to my clients. So that part I don't regret. Everything else probably could have waited. I could have saved. I know I can. I know I'm a big um, preacher of saving for future expenses or big expenses, and not to just blame the business side of things. Like I said, I was kind of hopeful that I would have all of these clients under my belt and that I would be able to pay it off, but that just wasn't the case. So, learning from my mistakes, not going to happen again. I actually almost impulse I shouldn't say impulse shopped because it's something that I've been wanting for the business. I really been wanting to buy a PC computer just so I've been getting a ton of requests for making my spreadsheets available via Excel, but I have a MacBook and the Excel or the spreadsheets here isn't quite the same as on a Windows software or system. So that's kind of the next project I'm going to work on the next quarter. I told my husband I don't want to buy it until I paid off the debt and then save up for it. So for those of you who have been wanting an Excel version, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And I don't know anyone that I can use their computer so that I can just create it. So yeah. Uh, where was I going with this? I was gonna say something else. Yeah, so I was going to buy the laptop this last weekend. It was $200 off, and my husband was so ready to like, why don't you just get it? And that's always so weird to come from my husband because he is the more wiser spender between us two. Um, and for him to say, just buy it already, I'm just, no, I told him no. I will wait. I'm sure it'll go on sale again. I believe it was $430. It was originally like 629 or 650 or something. But I'm sure, with these retail, usually things end up going back on sale anyway. So I'm gonna wait. I want to pay off my debt. I don't I don't the thought of getting charged that interest just sucks to me. And me and my husband actually had a conversation the other day that I can't believe that we're even talking about this versus years ago where the only thing my husband and I were worried about was um, just being able to afford the minimum payment because we were struggling back then. And all because not because we weren't getting paid enough, but because all of our credit cards were maxed out and just it was hard to just keep on top of um, making payments above the interest. So yeah, let my coffee sit here for a little bit. Yay, there's at least some of you guys joining me live on here. Hi, good morning. What else? So that's my big money confession. I know it sucks, um, but it is what it is. Gonna pay it off. The sooner the better. Um, What else? If you have any questions for me, let me know, comments, anything. Sorry if the quality of this video is not as great. I'm on just my webcam on my laptop. I usually will have it connected to my webcam in my office or my work office or my bedroom slash office, but I'm on just chilling on the couch near the couch right now. So, um, but yeah, what else? On here, it's 10:26. I think I had an alarm to go off at 10:30 to make sure I don't ramble. Um, but yeah, as far as kind of wanted to talk a little bit about volunteering at my kids' school a little bit because that's been pretty amazing. One of the things that I nerded out about was our book fair. It was pretty cool. The moms did an amazing job decorating it. It was like a Harry Potter theme. It was so cool. It was so nice to get to work or be part of the book fair to, see my kids be excited about it, be excited to see me volunteering at their school. I don't know if my fourth grader is as excited as my kinder kid, but my little one gets so excited to see me at school, and all of his friends now are like to call me Nico's mom and just get excited to see me and stuff like that. So I think that that's been pretty cool. Hopefully, when I am job hunting, I would still love to be able to um, oh, that's one thing I didn't talk about when it comes to job hunting is the daycare part because I've researched. I told my husband I will not take a job if it didn't make sense financially with the daycare costs. And I've done my research. If you have kids and you're working full time and you don't have, you know, anyone to really watch your kids for you, and if you have them in daycare, it is not cheap. And I'm sure well, doing daycare this time around versus when I used to work, it is a lot cheaper, because when I had both of them in daycare before, I believe we were paying $1,900 for both kids to be there from 8 to 5 or 8 to 5:30. So this time around, since they are in school, it'll be depending on the type of job I get, they will have to go in for before care or before school and then after school. And I've kind of done the math where I know what kind of job I need to get or how much I need to be getting paid for it to make sense for me to put them back into daycare. Um, because it doesn't make sense. The reason why I left my full time job before was because when I did the math, and I still can't forget it, I think my take home, excuse me, my take home um, after all the daycare costs would be $300. Yeah, that $300 sounded probably could have helped towards, paying off our debt sooner. But for my husband and I, it just at the time just didn't make sense because the things that we were worrying about before was who could pick up the kids if they were sick, because we got a couple of those calls before and we'd have to kind of scramble between my husband and I and my sister-in-law who was going to school at the time, which we just a big part of us putting our kids back in daycare is so that we don't have to inconvenience anybody. Hey Paula. I got your text this morning. I haven't responded just yet. Um, but hey Paula, she was one of my clients. Let me see. Nilza, don't beat yourself up. You'll get back on track. Thank you so much for your support always. But yeah, so with the daycare costs before, yeah, the $300 just didn't make sense. We just figured I would just stay at home, which I was so excited because I've always told my husband before that I think even before we had kids that I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would manage our home, make sure he had a home cooked meal every time he came home. And he has a pretty stressful job, pretty physically demanding also. And I believe this week, starting last week, they're on mandatory 6 days, which I know is probably nothing compared to those of you who work and have to travel days at a time. I know a couple people from our kiddo school where their husband has to travel for work. So I think I've only experienced that once with my husband, where he had to work up north. I believe he was up there for 3 weeks or like a month. Um, so but yeah, going back to work, only going to go back if it makes sense to pay for the daycare. It's luckily it's they have a on-site daycare, so if they had to go back to daycare before school, it would start at 7. So if I go back to working like an early shift or anything, or if I can find part time, the great thing about this, my husband and I was talking about it that we're not really in a rush so much for me to get back to work because my business is paying well, my business right now is paying for my debt. So I'm not really making extra money there. So we're not really in a rush because we're fine budgeting on one income. We're actually able to even save on just my husband's income alone. Um, but it would be nicer to have a second stream of income or a bigger stream of income because we really want to buy a home. I know the market right now is not the best, and where we live, it's just we need two incomes to be able to move to the houses around here. And we'd love to stay in the school system that we have or that we're a part of. We love this community that we're in. We've thought about moving, but at the end of the day, when you have kids and they're already settled into their school, they have their friends, they have their sports, they have their activities, it's kind of hard to pull them out of that if we can help it. It's different if maybe my husband had to move for work, but for the most part, we get to control where we get to live. So I don't want to pull out my kids out of that. And we've had those conversations with my fourth grader because it's much of his decision as well, and he really doesn't want to move away from his school and his friends and his team. So, that's been making it really hard. If I'm sure our kids can adjust to wherever we go, but again, if we can help it, I don't want to take them out of this amazing community that we have. And plus, where we live right now, we live in an apartment, we live in a two-bedroom apartment, and we're able to walk to school, which is amazing. So I don't really have to use my car all that often, only if we have appointments and stuff. So, yeah, we love our neighborhood. We've thought about we've looked at houses at other states and how much cheaper it is. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Southern California. I live in the South Bay area. Specifically, we live in Torrance, and it is not cheap over here. We have got very lucky with our apartment because asking our neighbors around us, we don't pay nearly as much as they do. And I believe it's because it's an older apartment and we've been fine with it. I did struggle a bit with, wanting to buy a bigger apartment and having a downstairs apartment and um, having a two-car garage versus one, but with the amount we pay 13.95. So we pay $1,400 for our two-bedroom apartment and one garage. And we get to walk to school. We have a park nearby. I cannot complain. So instead of wanting a bigger apartment, we're going to save our money so that we can have a bigger down payment for our house. Hopefully, we can start that process this year. We'll see. Um, if not, um, I'm sure we can hopefully buy a house next year. I don't know. But, anyways, um, I think I don't know if you guys are tired of me yet. It's been 32 minutes. I think I'm going to go ahead and get off right now. Thank you for those of you who have joined me live. Um, and if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments about yourself, where you are, where you're from, how the year is going for you. Anything you want to tell me about yourself, I'd love to get to know you. And happy Wednesday, happy February 1st. Good luck with all of your goals this year and happy budgeting. Don't forget to stay consistent, make wise money choices, and you make sure to use your time wisely to work on your budget. And yeah, have a good rest of your day. Thank you guys. Bye. Hey, Tasha. Happy Wednesday. I always forget to join your live. It's always when you're at the end of your lives where I see it. um, yeah, I started at 10 o'clock, and I know you're 3 hours after me, right? You're on the East Coast. So it's what, 10? It's 1 o'clock where you're at, right? Um, and I think Paula, where you're from too. So you're like at 1 o'clock right now. It's like lunchtime. Yeah. Um, um, Speaking of East Coast, really quick, it's crazy to me that a majority of my clients have been from the East Coast, which is kind of crazy. I only had one here on my time zone. But yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Hopefully, I'll have that uploaded this Saturday. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.